Now, good morning, my fellow Nigerian. Welcome to Global Entertainment News, the morning buzz. Now, me dey carry una for this na journey today to ready to kickstart your day with the fresh news where we get for you today. And person wey sit down near me in name be.
Sure.
Let's dive into today's headline fresh from the Punch and Vanguard newspaper. And today's top story wey we carry come give you be say. Court convicted 12 in Kwara State crack down on environmental offence. The 12 environmental violators have been convicted by a mobile court constituted by the Kwara State government following the violation of the state environmental law. The press secretary of the Kwara Ministry of Environment, Muritala Shakirat, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday, saying that the court, which began sitting on the Ilori Central Market Ojo Oba on Monday, convicted the 12 violators apprehended at the different location of the market. They were charged with encroachment on the main road in spite of various sensitization and warning undertaken by the government. The court, comprised of the Chief Magistrate Environmental Health Office and secretary personnel, tried the offenders for the offence ranging from alleged road encroachment and illegal displays of wares on pedestrian walkway, among others, the statement said. The pressing magistrate, Mohammed Aluko, is in his ruling statement the offender in line with the provision of the Kwara State environmental law and give them an option of fine in consideration of being first offender, which was paid accordingly to the coffers of the state government through the state internal revenue service staff whom we are also on the ground.
Well, in case of this environmental movement that the states are actually taking serious, well, it's actually a good move. But what I would say is that we should be doing the right thing at the right time. The country is actually suffering from when it comes to insecurity and everything. But notwithstanding the fact that some environmental bodies want to make sure their works are being seen by the state or by the federation, it's also a good step. But going now convicting 12 people just because of environmental mismanagement is actually, to me, I see it as, I will not say it's illegal, it's actually legal, but the fact that we are taking this too serious is actually, you can use the fact of probably seizing their goods and asking them to pay fine, probably taking care of their environment first, then they pay fine. There are some things we call environmental sanitations. They can just give them punishment of clearing the whole area before they get their goods back. It's another way of doing penalty. Social work is what they call it. So I think instead of giving them that kind of judgment, taking them to court, I think it's not really necessary. Something that we can just probably seize their goods, tell them to do this, do that before their goods are being received and released to them. I think it's actually the best way, sort of um, giving courts more cases, and the more you're taking this kind of cases to court, there will surely be something you will have to pay to actually get to that stage to avoid all this payment and everything.
Well, let's move on. Oyo road clash claim 10 motorists. Over 10 people were reportedly feared killed in an accident that occurred on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Oyo State on Tuesday morning. The road crash, according to Punch Metro investigation, involved three Nissan Micra taxi cab and three articulated vehicle, popularly called trailer. On correspondent learned that all the ill-fated vehicles were coming from Iwo Road area before getting involved in the accident. State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Rosemary Alo, confirmed that the incident in Ibadan, the state capital.
Well, this is actually very, very sad when it comes to accidents like this, cases like this, very, very sad. And what I always emphasize on, someone leaving his or her house never planned for cases like this, just get to, if not going to your destination, you're involved in an accident like that. It's not about the road safety now. It's about the way we actually use the road. We should be cautious of speed limit. We should be cautious of so many things on the highway to avoid cases like this. You colliding with a trailer, I think it's just imagine the picture being shown about the car, say, know that so many things might have happened. Even the driver might not even survive it. Even though
Exactly.
he tries to survive it, though, it definitely is going to have a permanent damage to the body.
To the
So I
body.
think we should look and be careful of how we speed. And I think more of speed limit should be on the highway. That's kind of what we expect road safety to always focus on rather than doing something else.
Okay. Well, I think you said the thing where you talk is very, very good because we have been talking about this road safety corps of doing their own work in their own permanent problem job where they're supposed to do now to the focus on the road and make sure that any road that is being blocked or being on the track, they have to clear it up. But these days around their own work now to the stop motor, they ask for particulars and all that thing, and is not even supposed to be. So we hope my condolences to those that have lost their life in that ill-fated accident. Let's move on. Police arrest Delta native doctor, uncover hidden weapon in ceiling. Operative of the Special Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Squad of the Delta State Police Command have arrested a 47-year-old native doctor named Koji Chizeme for gun running. The police public relations officer for Delta State Command, SP Bright Edafe, says in a signed statement in Warri on Tuesday that Chimeze of Umehe quarters, Bosa, Osimili North local government area was nabbed on June 14, 2025 at about 6:30 hours when operative of the squad acting on a credible intelligence stormed his residence. The PPRO affirmed that the operative, while investigating the native doctor, executed a search warrant on his premises during which two automated pumping action gun and one cutlass were recovered, hidden inside the ceiling of his room. Meanwhile, the suspect and exhibit are in custody as the investigation is ongoing, the police spokesman said.
Well, this to me, I see it's quite a little funny because you being a native doctor, probably that gun is for his own protection. Let me use that word for his own protection, but it's very very wrong for you to be in possession of unlawful arms, unlawful registered arms. Either that arm is being registered to you, probably you've worked in the force before, or you've worked in the military before, you've worked somewhere that you need to have a gun, probably an XYR or probably an X. Um, in a particular force or something, you should have that when you have right to hold a rifle. But in this case, a native doctor for that matter, it's actually very, very, and I believe the Delta State uh, government will not actually take this very lightly. Pump action con pump action is not even something that a citizen should just hold regularly. But you hiding it in your ceiling again, definitely is something you don't want people to see. It's illegal for you to put it in your ceiling. It's actually illegal.
Wetin the police talk now say this man dey rent gun out and na wetin I see for there. As a native doctor, e be like say all those native doctor wey dey around, they are not really genuine, but they have another illegal motive and the operation that they are going through using young people and all that, all in the name that I'm a native doctor and it's not supposed to be like that. Kudos to our policemen that are doing their work very well. Let's move on. Radar Rider threatened protest over federal government failed CNG tricycle promise. The National Commercial Tricycle and Motorcycle Own and Rider Association has called on President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima to fulfill their campaign promise of 2,000 CNG tricycles, warning that failure to do so may trigger a nationwide peaceful protest by its members. At a press conference in Abuja, the national president of NATO Murad Usman Gwaza expressed deep disappointment and frustration over what he described as the government's continued neglect of their association despite their significant support for All Progressive Congress during the 2023 election. I speak not just for myself, but for over 18 million registered members of the National Commercial Tricycle and Motorcycle Owner and Rider Association, men and women who own and ride tricycle and motorcycle across all the 36 states of Nigeria and the FCT, who has stated. He added, our members are angry, but we are peaceful people. We love Nigeria. We love this government. But if this silence continues, we will have no choice but to mobilize our members to peaceful protest nationwide, not in violence, but in pain.
Well, there was even a statement I actually picked there when the when Guazo said they were in support of the
2023
election. So it's what you saw that you have been definitely gonna win. When you supported, you know that this kind of person is not capable of a particular. I'm not being biased when it comes to this, but I'm trying to state how I feel in my and how my opinion is. Usman Gwazo, you came out to say that you've actually supported the campaign in 2023 election, and it was actually a promise by the present administration that they are going to do this for you people. Definitely, you are doing you supported that campaign because of a mere promise being promised to you, and now your promise is not fulfilled to you. Now you want to come outside and protest. Yeah, to me, if you come outside that protest, you will not get what you want, and I pray you don't get what you want because it's because of your self. This organization came out did this because of their selfish interest to
Exactly.
actually gain something from this present organization, and you are not getting it now. So you are telling us you want to come out like the work. What is your protest? What's the benefit of your protest to the masses that ride your 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 tricycle and motorcycle? If you like protest around the world, it will be a minus to people that day because it's not going to make sense. And the only advantage disadvantage that the masses are going to get is that most cycles and tricycles owners will not be outside that day to work, and we will know that okay, oh, that day we should focus on vehicles, go for other vehicles. It's your own cup of tea because you bargained for this, and we are not there when you people were signing that agreement. Now that is not the agreement is not yielding the profit you expected, and now coming out to tell us you are going on the nationwide strike.
Imagine the greediness wey dey their body, the insecurity that is happening in Nigeria no give them the mouth to come out to say make dem protest, to say our leaders has failed us in many ways. So the inflation that is keep on rising and falling every time, they no think about that one, but because say their greedy self was not given to them, that was the reason why they want to come out. Now you carry motor for road and then you are being kidnapped with all the passengers that you carry. You did none of your part that the group come out to come to protest about that and say, we are being kidnapped, or our members are being kidnapped, even those that we are carrying are being kidnapped, or the government are not doing, but you say that the CNG is not being provided for you because you campaign for that. It's very, very selfish of them. Well, make we move on. Tobacco kill 1.3 million non-smoker yearly, World Health Organization. Around 1.3 million people died from second-hand smoke every year, according to a World Health Organization report on the global tobacco epidemic 2025. The report released at the World Conference on Tobacco Control in Dublin warned that action is needed to maintain and accelerate progress in tobacco control as rising industry interference challenge tobacco policy and control efforts. The report focused on the six proven WHO empower tobacco control measure to reduce tobacco use, which claim over 7 million lives a year. The World Health Organization empower empasses monitoring tobacco use and prevention policy, protecting people from tobacco smoke with smoke-free air legislation, and offering help to quit tobacco use. It also ensures warning about the dangers of tobacco, which pack label and mass media enforcing ban on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, and rising taxes on tobacco. The report read around 1.3 million people died from secondhand smoke every year. Today, 79 countries have implemented comprehensive smoke-free environment covering one third of the world population.
Well, the news by the WHO is actually very, very alarming. We need to take this very, very serious. 1.3 and non-smokers. I'm not going to talk about those that smoke. Non-smokers. That means you sitting in a particular place close to someone that smokes, you are also endangering your health, endangering your life. It's
Exactly.
actually it's something we should really be careful about. With the rate, a country like our country alone, with the rate at which smokes tobacco flies out when you go close to places like a motor park, they can do it where they won't smoke things out there.
Both the young and the
It,
old.
it's if Nigeria were to be, I believe Nigeria out of a population, out of these numbers of people, Nigeria should be they should be one to five, because I'm very, very sure about that. The rate at which smokes and tobacco goes out of the cigars and everything, 1.3 million people yearly is actually a very huge
A very
number.
huge
I tell
number.
you, huge
Yeah.
number.
Well, on today's top story from the Vanguard, two appropriation in 1 year. Experts react as NAS okay rollover of 2024 budget till December 2025. The federal government in extending the lifespan of its 2024 budget by another 6 months, a development which has consolidated on its culture of running multiple budgets is a single fiscal year. The development also indicates that the efforts of the House of Representatives since 2024 to curb this practice may have failed. Yesterday, the Senate began the legislative process of extending the implementation timeline for the capital component of the 2024 national budget of the 13.1 trillion, this time until December 31st, 2025. The Senate resolved to mandate the Committee on Appropriation and Finance to conduct a joint investigation into delay in capital fund release and overall budget performance. The committee are expected to report back within 1 week. This particular extension is the second time